Welcome back to Fantasy Football Today, presented by Snickers. Snickers satisfies them. Jamie, that's Dave, that's Heath. We have the wide receiver and tight end waiver wire additions that you need, some players that you're looking to drop, and some players that you might be looking to trade for or trade away. So the wide receiver position typically deeper, some better options to add at this position by comparison to the running backs. Tim Patrick gets a big boost because KJ Hamler's out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL, and Jerry Jeudy not back anytime soon. You can add both Bills wide receivers, Emmanuel Sanders 59%, Cole Beasley 62%, both guys very active for Buffalo through the first 3 weeks of the season. AJ Green's coming off a strong game, Jacoby Myers coming off a strong game, Hunter Renfrow. We could spend a lot of time talking about all these guys. You can read all about them on CBSSports.com, especially some of the later ones. That could be some injury replacements for the Titans, for the Falcons, and for the Giants as well. But let's talk about Tim Patrick in particular here. So, Keith, when you look at the Broncos wide receiver core right now and how it's set up, Jeudy out for however many weeks still with the ankle injury. Now Hamler on out for the season with his ACL tear. How good can Patrick be? He hasn't had more than 5 targets in the game so far.
Right, yeah, I think he's still like the best case scenario for Tim Patrick because you're getting a number 3 wide receiver that you feel pretty good about starting every week. We'd like to see him get up into that 7 target per week range. He's not somebody that's going to have some sort of breakout where he turns into a top 15 guy, but I think a solid, reliable number 3 wide receiver is what you're hoping to get out of Tim Patrick.
Dave, when you look at the 2 Bills guys, Sanders coming off a 2-touchdown game in week 3. Cole Beasley's had 2 very strong games, 2 games with 13 targets, week 1 and week 3.
Yep.
Who's better, and does format matter?
Format matters a lot. I think Cole Beasley is the one that matters more in PPR. We've seen it now 2 or 3 games, like you mentioned, where he's been better. And Sanders has 2 duds on the season. And last week he just caught 2 touchdowns. So I'm definitely taking Beasley over Sanders in PPR leagues, half PPR leagues. Non-PPR leagues, it's closer, but I think I'm still going to lean a little bit more toward Beasley over Emmanuel Sanders because Sanders does split that outside role a little bit more with Diggs. He's been hurting Diggs in that regard, but I think that that's just something that's going to lead to more bad games for Sanders versus Beasley. You know what you're getting with him.
Heath, the 2 PPR guys I think that most people look at, aside from Cole Beasley, Jacoby Myers and Hunter Renfrow. Myers, 15 targets last week. No James White for the foreseeable future. Hunter Renfrow's been kind of the steady Eddie, at least 2 games with 13 or more PPR points, scored a touchdown last week. Which one of those 2 do you prefer?
I've got Myers 1 spot ahead of Renfrow, and they're very, very close. They're both number 3 wide receivers in PPR. I think Renfro's just on constant, like you said, he's steady Eddie. He's been steady Eddie for 3 years, really. We've always got 2 Raiders wide receivers we're excited about, and Hunter Renfrow always leads them in targets and catches. I think that probably happens again this year, like both of them as number 3 wide receivers.
All right, we'll see what happens for those Raiders receivers moving forward, but Derek Carr throwing the ball very well. AJ Green's gotten off to a nice start, so you can look at him. 100-yard game last week, a touchdown the week before, doing a nice job connecting with Kyler Murray. 6 targets per game, but still doing a good job for the Cardinals there.